Hello everyone. Today we have Mr. Rohit Arora. He is co-founder of Biz2X. Welcome Rohit sir. Welcome to Founder Talks. We would like to know more about Biz2X and about you.
Yeah, so Biz2X as a company, me and my brother, we formed in 2018. And prior to that, me and my brother, we started Biz2Credit in 2007, 2008 time period in New York with a mission to help small and mid-sized businesses to get access to credit in a fully digital and transparent environment. Over the years, we have grown the company pretty significantly. We are now present in 4 countries: US, Canada, Australia, and India. And we have over 750 plus employees. And we have done close to between $8 to $8.5 billion of lending. And on Biz2X side, we have 40 plus banks, large payroll companies, payment companies, and thousands of CPA firms who use our platform today.
Amazing. So, sir, we want to know how this lending platform work and how the industry has changed after COVID.
Yeah, so this is a very good question. The lending platform, when we had started the company, there was no term as fintech. There was no APIs. It was all very much still desktop driven. The access to internet was not in smartphones. So I remember, Steve Jobs had just launched the first version of iPhone, and things were just starting to get very different compared to what they were prior to having a smartphone in your hand. And at that point of time, we started seeing the first change where especially small business owners who are very busy people, they were able to now have access to internet in their hand, and they could, go out and apply for things what they wanted to do. Over the years, we have seen the evolution of the industry. We have seen fintech has become a really large, well accepted industry. We have seen a lot of banks and other traditional institutions also adopting a lot of digital platforms now, and do things in a way which are very seamless and also make it very data driven. So the importance of data, the importance of running analytics, the importance of the right customer experience, the user experience has grown over the years. And all those experiences we took from our Biz2Credit platform, and we then put it out in our Biz2X platform, which is our white label platform, which we offer to banks, lending institutions, as well as intermediaries. So anybody who's dealing with SMBs or SMEs, they can use that platform.
Okay. So I see you are providing a few services in India like DigiCredit and Biz2X and Biz2X loan management system, collection management system. These are all targeted towards the banking system. So tell us about DigiCredit loan management system and collection management system, how it works.
Yeah, so DigiCredit is the name of our holding company in India. Obviously, Biz2X is still our brand in India, where we are offering it under the Biz2X brand itself. We have 3 distinct platforms or offerings in India. One is our LOS, LMS, where we are helping banks, non-banks to set up digital lending. So we have partnerships there with companies like Citara Capital, who have been using our digital platforms, especially channel financing platforms and supply chain financing platforms. And last year, or the financial year that just ended, they funded through that platform close to 3,200 CR of business. We have HSBC Bank, which has been using our platform both in the small business as well as in the commercial banking division, and they're closing close to 100 loans a month right now on that platform. Recently, we also launched a platform known as Madhyam, which is very interesting, which is again on Biz2X, where what we have done is that we have taken the aggregators on one side, B2B aggregators like PharmEasy's of the world and some of the other large aggregators, and then giving them the whole API infrastructure to go in and set up a full digital lending environment for their own B2B suppliers and vendors. And at the other end, we have banks and NBFCs who can use all that data, all the analytics, all the different things to go in and offer this access to credit. It also has a full data analytics platform, the ability to do risk management, risk analytics, and all those things.
As I can see, you are playing with the customer data for banks, but I want to know that do you provide the white labeling solution to banks and training to the banks, or do you manage the analytics for them?
So we have, so in US, we offer banks a white label solution where banks can manage everything. At the same point of time, we have a pretty large lending marketplace. So we have our own proprietary data that we use to help banks to get better at risk analytics, pricing analytics, segregating their customer base. In India, it's all strictly white label, where we are offering banks, NBFCs, and B2B aggregators the ability to use a white label platform, and analytics also. What we provide is more as a product, in India, and not as a service, right?
So we have seen a few peer-to-peer lending platforms developing in the COVID. So how your platform is very much different from these P2P lending platforms?
See, the way the P2P platforms have evolved over the years is that Lending Club used to be the first P2P platform in the world. It started in US sometime in 2007, 2008 time period. They were more on the consumer side, and then when we had started our lending business, we had also looked at that model. But one of the things is that your P2P platforms don't work really well in the SME space, because the need of money is more, the average loan size is bigger. So that's where what we have found is that the borrowers can be on one side, and then institutional players can be on the other side. In US, we have a lot of insurance companies, we have pension funds, we have credit funds who actually use our platform. Obviously, in a country like India, the avenues of capital are a lot more limited. So here we have mostly banks and non-banks who are using the platform. My experience shows that P2P lending initially had a lot of promise, but I don't think so that that's a really very scalable model. And what we have seen in US, what we have seen with some companies in India, is that none of them have been able to scale up a P2P model.
Okay. And your loan management system, can you give us more idea about how loan is managed through your platform?
Yeah, so we have a fully digital configurable loan management system. So once the institutions are booking loans, they can seamlessly integrate any of their LOS systems into this API-enabled LMS system, and then it has all the configurability. So one thing we found out during COVID was, like with some of our partners, was that they had to put a lot of moratorium on payments, or they had to start repayments under some of the government schemes like the ELCSS, all that stuff. And typically their LMS systems were not really configured or not really built to handle those kind of things. So what they had to do was they had to do a lot of IT retooling. It took them a month, 2 months to do that, and that was a nightmare. The other thing in our LMS also is that it gives you the ability to launch multiple products, which normally is not the capability that a LMS has. So typically a traditional LMS, you need a different LMS for every product. So let's say you're doing a term loan, or you're doing a line of credit, or you're doing merchant financing or other products. So then, typically those LMS systems are built for one specific product. The way that we have built it is that it's extremely configurable. It's something that can be easily scaled up, and it's also fully digital. So what that means is that, you can do a lot of integrations with third parties. From an API perspective, you can do a lot of integrations front end and back end. So what I mean by that is that at the front end of LMS will be LOS systems, the loan origination systems, and at the back end, you can integrate that into a collections platform. So the idea there was that, how do you build modular configurable systems that can easily talk to each other, and at the same point of time are scalable, and also have the ability to launch multiple products on the platform.
Okay. That is Very so insightful to know. And NPAs are a big headache for banks, and I see that your company is able to solve that problem through the collection management system as well. So tell us about that as well. We want to know more.
Yeah. So what we have seen is that in any lending business, the biggest crux is in the NPAs, because and in India we have seen it over the years that the biggest Achilles heel for most of the lending institutions, including banks and non-banks, is that how do I manage my NPAs? How do I collect money? How do I reduce my NPAs? So one of the things we did last year is based on our massive amount of experience that we have in the US markets was also is that we launched a collection management platform in India, and we have some clients here who are already using it, some banks and non-banks. Again, our philosophy was that it needs to be modular, it needs to be configurable, and it needs to be done in a way that it's all API integration is easy, and it's scalable for multiple products. It can handle multiple scenarios, it can handle multiple repayment options, it can handle and track all the data. Because one thing in the collection platform is that NPAs give you as a lending institution a lot of data to learn from. But then, how do you extract that data and how do you build it back into your underwriting models so that you can build better predictive analytics on things? So those are the kind of things that we are doing in a very thoughtful manner, but also investing a lot of time, money, and effort to offer these world-class products in the India market.
And I also want to know about the AI and ML which you use in your platform, as you must have gone through when someone is applying for a loan to bank. So how your bank predict that this is going to be a good asset or we can lend the money to this borrower?
So in terms of AI ML, we have been harnessing a lot of our own lending data over the years. We have a team of around 35 plus data scientists and data analytics people in the company. We also take a lot of data back from our banking partners and benchmark it, run analytics, run a lot of, I would say, and we have built algos on top of it to really predict, that how things work. So one of the things that we have is our flagship, BA score, what we call Biz Analyzer score, which actually predicts both the probability of default as well as what kind of pricing that we should be offering to the client base, and then what kind of returns the investors will get from that. So that we have our now model, which is the 8th generation model, and which has worked very well over the years because our NPAs in the industry has been the lowest. So the highest they have gone over the years is around 3%, and right now they're trending at around 1.6%. So obviously, and we have run data on billions of dollars of loans through those platforms and through those BA scores, and so a constant investment in that, right team, right people, and having access to a lot of data on an ongoing basis has helped us to build some very smart algos and very smart models. And then as they get smarter, as the machine gets smarter, they learn from it, and then they're able to do more things.
Okay, good to know. I want to know what are the expansion plan of Biz2X?
So our expansion plans are very aggressive. Right now in India, we are talking to at least 8 to 10 B2B marketplaces for our Madhyam platform. We are talking another, I would say, 15 to 20 banks and non-banks who want to license our LOS and LMS systems, ability to launch buy now, pay later products, in the B2B space, ability to launch other products, and also to manage the risk well. So obviously we're expanding our teams in India. We are adding more people in our business development team, in our product team, in our development team in India. Right now we have close to 500 people in India, and we plan to double that team over the next 12 months.
Wonderful. So you have given so much to the industry over the years. I want to know about your personal journey, that how interesting your path has been from starting the company and moving to US, then coming back to India.
Yeah, so I think it has been an interesting journey. We are, like me and my brother, we are first generation immigrants to US, and We started the company there because obviously when we had started the company, the startup culture in India was not there, or it was there but very nascent. And over the years, we have seen how startup and culture and the digital revolution is happening in India. Obviously, from very beginning, while we are still headquartered out of US, we have maintained a very big and an important setup in India because all our technology development happens from our India office. So that has been a good thing because it has helped us to have a very deep connectivity with India and also be very aware about how things are happening in India. So as we have started expanding in India, then it's been like, I would say, not a very steep learning curve. And at the same point of time, we are able to innovate much faster because we understand how different markets are operating and what best practices we need to have and what best practices can be transferred from one market to the other. So obviously, it has been a eventful journey and things, and we have seen recessions, we have seen downturns, we have seen good times. So obviously over the years we have become better hardened and we understand that how to build scaled digital businesses and how to run them in a cost-effective manner.
And I want to know, what advice would you like to give to someone who is entering into fintech? And I want to know more about the importance of team building from your side.
Yeah, so I think there are two things. So anybody who is entering fintech right now, they have to understand that this is a long haul. This is not a space where you will get instant gratification. So it will take at least 8 to 10 years before you will start seeing some good results. At the same point of time, I think market conditions are changing very quickly. So in my view, this is one of the best times to start a company because things are going to get tough. There's going to be a lot of winding away of the competition, and that's all great. At the same point of time, raising funding will be tough. So one will have to build the right business model. In terms of building teams, I think that's the most important thing. How do you build teams? How do you sell them your vision? How do they buy into your vision? And then as an entrepreneur, do you really have a clear idea of what problem you're trying to solve? I think that's very important.
So let's conclude this on a note that yes, we have to be very aggressive about what we do and we have to pursue our dreams. And team building is an important part when you have to think about what you want to achieve and you have to delegate that information to your team as well, that what is your ultimate goal. So let's conclude this. Thank you, Rohit sir. Thank you for being on this platform. It has been an amazing conversation with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.